Hello friends, and welcome to Life in Envelopes. I am Jennifer Bleecher. This channel is all about planning and budgeting. So if those are topics that are also interesting to you, then please subscribe to my channel. I would love to have you along on this journey. In today's video, we are going to close out the first week of November, and we are going to set up the budget for the second week of November in my Budget by Paycheck workbook by the Budget Mom. Okay, so starting in the expense tracker section of the workbook, the way I use her expense trackers is I do one expense tracker per week. I'm a week-to-week budgeter because I'm paid week to week, so it's just easier for me to do it this way. I also like to do a weekly check-in, and it's easier if I have everything for 1 week on one worksheet. So I write down all the expenses, I color code it by category, and then I make a budget key at the bottom, which comes in handy when we go to close out the budget at the end of the month. So let's see where we spent our money this week. Starting with bills, we paid a lot of bills at the beginning of the month. So first of all, State Farm came out, it was $125. Then our HBO came out, and it was $17. Next was garbage. We set aside $5 for garbage every week. It actually doesn't come out, it comes out once every 3 months, but every week we set aside $5 for that. Alliant Energy, we set aside $10 for that. Okay, WW, we set aside $5 for WW. Whew, that was a lot of bills. Okay, let's move on to debts. So we had 2 debts that came out this week. Loan number 2 for $142, and mortgage for $1335. Okay, next up is food. We spent $200 on food, and I talked about this last week, but we've decided going forward, we're just going to continue to budget $200 for food. We're no longer going to be pulling money from food for our savings challenges. We're pulling money just from miscellaneous. So we will always have $200 to work with. You know, after experimenting with this for a while, that's what's currently working for my family's dietary needs and where the economy is and where inflation is. $200 a week is what works best for my family. Okay, gas. We set aside $20 for gas last week. So after we did the savings challenge last week, we didn't have any money left in our envelope for miscellaneous, and we didn't spend any extra money, so miscellaneous was $0. Okay, next is spending. Spending was $45. That was $20 for me, $20 for David, and $5 for Logan. Next is savings challenge. So we had so much fun playing the savings challenge game last week, and we ended up putting $50 into our savings challenge envelope. It was very exciting. You should definitely check out my cash envelope stuffing videos, which come out the day after these videos. So this comes out on Thursday, and then my cash envelope stuffing comes out on Friday, and we do a savings challenge competition. It's so fun. I don't know. I think it's fun. It makes it fun for me. And we were also able to put aside $150 in our sinking funds last week, thanks to all the Buy Me a Coffees that we received. Thank you again to everybody who donated to Buy Me a Coffee. Like I say every time, but I want to emphasize it. We never ever expect it, but it's very appreciated when you guys do give us that tip through those tips through Buy Me a Coffee. Okay, well, let's take a look at our monthly budget. I do a monthly budget with David's paycheck because he's paid once a month, so we cover most of our fixed expenses with his money. And then I do week to week with mine. So let's do the monthly budget check-in first. Mortgage came out, and it was exactly what we thought it was going to be, which was $1335. State Farm also came out, let's see, and it was $125, so it was a little bit less than what we had budgeted for. HBO came out, and it was exactly what we thought it was going to be. So far, we are on track. We haven't gone above budget in any category yet for the monthly check-in. So that's great. Let's move on to week 1. Okay, week 1, starting with income. I brought home $507 last week. My income is a combination of Etsy, YouTube, Patreon, and sometimes I get money from affiliates as well. Buy Me a Coffee, we very generously received $120 in tips for Buy Me a Coffee. We put it to good use in our budget. It was such a fun week for us. So altogether, we had $627 to work with. Okay, so we put aside or actually we paid off $142 for loan number 2. We set aside in our cash envelopes, now the next category are all cash envelopes. We set aside $5 in cash for garbage, 10 for Alliant Energy, and 5 for WW. So altogether that came to $162. So we still have $465 to work with. We're going to bring that down here to our variable expenses. So food was exactly what we budgeted, which was $200. Gas was $20. Miscellaneous, we ended up, when we did the savings challenge, we ended up putting all of that into the savings challenge envelope. So our actual for the savings challenge was $50, and our actual for miscellaneous was $0. Spending money, we did exactly $45. So let's see what that would be all together. $265. So $465 minus $265 left us with $200. So we're going to bring that up here to our sinking funds. These are also a type of cash envelope. So the cash envelopes that we do are bills, cash envelopes that I carry around with me in my wallet, sinking funds, and savings. So we did all that in last week's video. So car maintenance, we ended up putting $10 in that envelope, $5 in car registration. We put $100 in Christmas, thanks to all that buy me a coffee money, and we were able to put $35 towards vet, again, thanks to the buy me a coffee money. So all together, we put $150 in those envelopes, leaving us with $50. So we currently are not working on extra debt. We're trying to save up $1,000 cushion in our bank account, our checking account. So that's our current goal. So we had $50 at this point in the budget. We put $50 towards the savings challenge for a total of $50, leaving us with $0. I like to zero out my budget at the end of every week, which means I have a place for my money. I tell my money where it's going to go. Every dollar has a place in my budget. Okay, so that's it for week 1. Let's set up week 2. Okay, so for us, week 2, let's see, it's going to be the time period of November 11th through November 9th. Wait, November 3rd, November 11th, what? Okay, November 3rd through November 9th. So for income this week, we're going to have my income. And thank you to everyone who purchased items from the Etsy shop during the Halloween sale. We were able to pay ourselves my goal. Every week, my goal is to pay myself $507, and I was able to reach that goal this week thanks to you guys. Thank you so much. And we also got a Buy Me a Coffee. Now, Buy Me a Coffee is a tipping app. There's a link to it in the description box of this video. I had a friend asking where the link was on Etsy. I can't share it on Etsy. I can only share it here on YouTube. So it's in the description box of the video. It's a tipping app that my viewers asked me to add. I never ever expect any income from that, but when we do receive it, we are so thankful and we try to make really good use of that money. So for example, we're going to have $5 to work with today, and I want to give a shout out to Modern Mom Budgets. Thank you so much for tipping us this week. So all together, we're going to have $512, and I'll show you exactly where that $5 is going to go in just a moment. Okay, so the bills that I cover with my income are loan number 2. And we pay them $142 every week. Now this is a debt because it's eventually going to get paid off. We also have some bills that we pay. We pay garbage. The reason why garbage is a bill and not a debt is because it's always going to exist. So we pay garbage $5 a week. Then we have Alliant Energy. That is for the gas for our house. And we're currently setting aside $10 a week for that. I'm thinking it's probably going to go up in the winter time. It did last year by quite a bit, but we'll just have to wait and see what happens there. Right now, so far, $10 a week is still good. WW will get $5. So altogether, that comes to $162. So let's see what we have left to work with. That leaves us with $350 to work with. Okay, I'm going to bring that down here to our cash envelopes. These are the envelopes that I carry around with me. Well, most of them. I don't carry food money with me anymore. The reason why I don't is because we do a combination of Sam's and online ordering through another grocery store. So I never need cash because at Sam's we do the scan and go. Like when we're in the store, we scan with our cell phone as we're going through the store. And then when we order online, we have to pay that way. So now we do $200, but it doesn't come out in a cash envelope. The rest will be cash envelopes, which are gas, miscellaneous, and spending money. Okay, since I have a full budget to work with this week, which means I was able to bring home $507, I can put the full amount I want to each of these categories. So I'm going to put $20 towards gas, $50 towards miscellaneous, and $45 towards spending. Now, some of this miscellaneous is going to go towards our savings challenge when we play the game tomorrow, but we don't know how much that's going to be. So right now I'm just going to write 0 over there, and we'll have to find out tomorrow how much of that 50 goes into the savings challenge. Okay, so all together, that's $315. So $350 minus $315 leaves us with $35 to work with. Okay, I'm going to bring that up here to our sinking funds. So for sinking funds, we only have 4 currently. I'm going to revamp this for 2023 when we set up the 2023. There are some more categories that I feel like I just have to add. So I will be adding more categories next year. But for right now, we have car maintenance, car registration, Christmas. I said that word funny. Christmas. I don't know what's going on with me. And vet. Okay, car maintenance is going to get $10. Car registration will get $5. Christmas will get $10. And vet would wait a second. Am I doing this right? 10, 20, 25. So leave us with, yes, I'm doing this right. So vet would normally only get $5, but we're trying to rebuild this because we recently had to use all of this on an emergency vet visit. So we're going to be using that buy me a coffee money to boost this category a little bit. So we're going to have the 5 that we would normally put towards that, but we're also going to add another 5 here. So we're going to have $10 to go in that envelope this week. I'm so excited. I can't wait to see like how much we have in the envelope now because we're able to like we're rebuilding it pretty aggressively, and that just makes me so happy. I want to make sure I can take care of my mork. Okay, so altogether that's $35, which brings our budget now down to 0. So just continuing on, we are not doing any extra debt payments right now because again our focus is on saving $1,000 cushion for our account. We're at 500, so we're just trying to get to that next 500 mark, and then we can go on to our next savings challenge, which I'm so excited to share with you guys. So this is where we are at this point. It's going to be a little different when we come back next week because some of that miscellaneous money will move over to the savings challenge, but we'll have to wait to see where that is next week. Hopefully we can stay on budget in all our other categories. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed today's video, will you please give it a thumbs up? And don't forget to come back tomorrow when we do all the cash envelope stuffing. Thanks for watching, guys. See you next time. Bye.